This one is the Astrophytum asterias Oebo variegated, quote unquote variegated. And I mentioned this in my previous video. I said that I doubt that this is natural variegation. I think this is induced variegation. So you see the difference. This one, the variegation looks so even around the cactus. So that makes me doubt that this is natural. Hello everyone, my name is Anna. Welcome to Cactus Caffeine. In this channel, we talk all about cactus and other desert plants over a cup of coffee. For today, we are going to be doing some potting up. These are the recent purchases that I made. These are Costa Farm cacti that I purchased from Walmart. If you have not seen my haul video when I picked up all these beautiful cacti right here, go ahead and watch it. I will put the link up on the screen and also in the description of this video. So these are the cacti that I recently purchased. I actually purchased them 2 weeks ago, but I haven't had the time to pot them up until now. So anyway, in those 2 weeks, I did water them once already. So these were watered about, I think, 5 days ago or a week ago. Okay, so now it is time for me to pot them up. There is one here that I already potted up because this one I knocked it down accidentally, so I had to repot it immediately. But as for the rest, I am going to show you guys how I repot cactus, and also I am curious to know, and if, I'm sure you guys are also curious to know, what is the soil that these cacti came in. First thing that we are going to do, of course, is take out all these sleeves, the packaging sleeves. I like how it's packaged, by the way, by Costa Farms. So it has the name of the cactus in there. And then if you look at the back, the name and then a little information about the cactus and its care. Okay, and of course, all these are only $7.97. That's why I was so excited when I found them. I know Costa Farms have been selling, or at least I've known about these 2 years ago, but I haven't found them in my local Walmart until this year. So I was so excited when I finally found them. These cacti are not the usual type of cactus that you can find being sold here in the big box stores or the garden centers. So they're not really rare, but they're just hard to find here in our area. Okay, so I've already started unpotting that Tephro and now this is the second one, the Astrophytum Oebo. Oh, look at the roots on this one. Wow. You can tell this has already been in this pot for quite some time for the roots to grow out of the pot. So this is the soil that the Costa Farms cacti came in. So when I did the research, I found out that Costa Farms actually use a soilless commercial greenhouse mix, which is composed primarily of coco coir and what they call hydrofiber or wood fibers, and also mix of some uh, fertilizer. So these green bits that you see in here are fertilizer. There's also some white ones, white fertilizers that I found from the soil. This one, these are also fertilizer. But as you can see, even with that soil mix, they've been growing pretty well, at least for this cactus. Has very good root system. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take out as much of the soil as I can. See, the only downside of this kind of soil mix is once it gets bone dry, it gets really compact and hard. Much like a peat moss. Peat moss does the same thing. I think for this one, I'm actually going to be running it underwater because there's no way for me to remove this without breaking the roots, and I don't want to break this very good root system. So I'm gonna run this in running water to take out more of this mix. I washed off as much of the soil as I can, although I did not completely remove all of it. Now I do see these brown marks underneath the cactus. It feels hard, so I'm hoping it's just, natural corking. The roots look fine. They look healthy and alive. So I hope this cactus will be okay. Okay, so more unpotting. Oh, this cactus seemed to have a different kind of soil mix. See, there are black, I think these are lava rocks. They're hard. And perlite. Yep, these are perlite because they crumble. So they're not all the same. See, these are black lava rocks, the big one. So this one doesn't have the same soil mixture as the other two. So this one is more gritty. Again, this one is planted in their soilless mix. So now we know they're not all potted up the same way. Okay, the other downside again of this soilless mix is coco coir does not actually hold nutrients. Hence, that's why they have to add fertilizer to this one, because it needs to consistently, I think it's a soil release fertilizer that they use, so it needs to consistently deliver nutrients to the roots. I sometimes use or mix coco coir too in my soil for those cacti that need more moisture than the other desert cacti. For example, I find that echinopsis, they're always thirsty. So I sometimes mix coco coir in my soil whenever I am planting echinopsis. Also, trichocereus would benefit in drinking more water. But for the other type of desert cacti like Eriosyce, Copiapoa, all those need more well-draining soil. Oh, wow. Look at those roots. Ooh. Okay, again, this Pachypodium is in their coco coir mix. Costa Farms is actually based in Florida. They have growing or greenhouses, growing grounds in Florida, and also in the Dominican Republic. So I'm not sure where these came from. Probably that's why they all came in different soil mixes. It depends on where they're grown or where they came from. A couple of you also told me that Costa Farms imports some of their cactus from Italy. So I'm not sure if these were the ones that were imported or these were grown locally by them. Again, this is very hard and very compact. I will be running this in water again to remove some of the soil. These three ones, the soil is very hard and compact, so I will run it in water. Here are the three cacti after washing off the roots. This Gymnocalycium variegated, it doesn't have much roots, but it is rooted. But look at this pachypodium. Awesome! Now this Astrophytum snow, after washing it, I just noticed that there is a hole in here. Now this wasn't here when I purchased it, so this is new. I think Mickey Mouse had a taste of this one, but I'm going to be applying sulfur powder on this to prevent further infection. This is the cactus soil that I will be using. This is approximately 50% cactus soil and 50% pumice. So I just use a commercially available cactus soil, my preferred brands, and then to which I add more gritty materials. In this case, I use pumice. So, oh, and I also added a little bit of worm casting, like to this amount. I added about a cup of worm casting. And to know if you have a good soil, the test is if you squeeze it, it shouldn't retain its shape. It should crumble. Okay, so that is a test of a good soil mix. Okay, let's start potting these up. Starting with this beautiful variegated Gymnocalycium. If you want to know the specific names of these cacti that I'm potting up, I suggest that you watch my haul video, because in that video I discussed the names of all these new cacti that I purchased from Costa Farms. So this one is a variegated Gymnocalycium mihanovici. By the way, I placed coffee filter paper underneath the pot just to prevent the soil from going through the big drainage holes. By the way, this one is not a cactus. This is a Pachypodium densiflorum. And the reason that I bought this plant is because I bought 9 cacti, and just to make it even, I thought of getting or grabbing another one to make it 10. And this is the plant that I bought. And I have no idea how to take care of pachypodium. This is the first pachypodium that I have. So if you guys have any tips for me on how to grow this plant, please share it in the comments down below. I would greatly appreciate it. The last thing that I am going to do is put some top dressing on it. This one is River Rocks. So I like to use top dressing because it prevents the soil from spilling over whenever I water it. It also looks nicer. Plus, it also helps retain moisture longer in my soil. Here in the desert, I need some moisture retention, especially during summertime, because the soil, because of our heat, our temperatures, my soil gets dry pretty fast if I don't have a top dressing. But if you live in an environment where you have very humid environment and your cacti are exposed to the rain, then probably you would not want to put top dressing anymore. And now they're all done. Let me clean this up so I can show them all to you potted up. Here they are now all potted up, and I think they all look so cute. Now I won't be watering these right away. I'll probably give it a few more days, maybe 5 or up to a week, 5 days up to a week before I start watering them again. Like I said, the soil that I use is damp, so there is enough moisture in there to somehow encourage the roots to grow. This one is the Astrophytum asterias oebo, variegated, quote unquote variegated. And I mentioned this in my previous video. I said that I doubt that this is natural variegation. I think this is induced variegation. They sometimes do it to cacti, whether chemically, or I think they also use gamma rays to induce variegation. I don't know how that works. This one, however, I think is natural variegation. So you see the difference. This one, the variegation looks so even around the cactus. So that makes me doubt that this is natural. Usually when cacti are variegated, the variegation is random. So like this one, the color, there is no color pattern as to the variegation. But this one, it looks so even. Anyway, we will find out what will happen to this cactus. If it's not natural variegation, then I don't expect the color to last. It might fade, but we will see. So stay tuned in this channel as we monitor the growth of this cactus. All right, if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Follow me in Facebook and in Instagram. And until next time, bye everyone, and cheers!